Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in Information Technology Software Engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
I'm awake. Kind of, sort of, barely not. What's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ. The Internet Warlord. And I'm coming to you live and loud from the great state of Meth Dakota. You know Meth Dakota. It's that state just south of North Dakota, that Dakota, state formerly known as South Dakota, until the Queen of Meth, Governor Kristi Noem, declared by proclamation that we're all on meth here in South Dakota, and that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, I can't even deal with that kind of stupid right now. Honestly, guys, it's a slow news day. I could talk all day long about certain topics, but some days are just a drain. There is a link in the description if you'd like to take over this broadcast. Today is an open discussion day. I'll kind of skim the headlines, I'm sure, at some point if nobody wants to join. But, nothing intrigued me. I mean, there's Kamala Harris, which is everybody's big talking point today. Or as I now solidify, we officially, regardless of if you vote for Trump or Biden, it doesn't matter. We officially live in the corporate plantations of Merica. And I stand by that. I don't think we live in the United States of America. We live on the corporate plantations of Merica. Change my mind. I had somebody ask me, CJ, what are your thoughts on the military? I'm paraphrasing the conversation. But, the military is one of the biggest frauds ever perpetrated on the United States. It's been used to spend countless monies on foreign wars, death, and destruction, policing the world. And they asked, well, you still wear the hat. Why? Well, that doesn't take away what it meant to me. Good morning, Matt. How are you doing today, sir? It doesn't take away what it meant to me or why I joined or believed why I was joining. Doesn't mean that I'm not proud of what I accomplished. So I won't let anybody ever take that from me. But I'll tell you what, after a while you realize that you're being lied to. Not only are you being lied to, everyone you know is being lied to. And on top of that, what you actually joined isn't actually what you believe you joined. You're not protecting people's constitutional rights. If you took a test right now, if everybody in the military was required to take a test, 95% of them, and that's being kind, couldn't name the first 10 commandments. Or 10 commandments. I'm tired, man. They couldn't name the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. They couldn't. And these are the people you, on the other end of this screen, the vast majority of you, believe are out there protecting you, protecting your constitution, your rights, blah, blah, blah. From who? From which enemy out there? Which invisible enemy are we spending trillions of dollars on? Is it foreign wars? No, they can't justify that anymore. Is it the invisible coronavirus? Yeah, I'll check the box, YouTube. Don't worry. So you realize that they're going to have to endlessly justify in some way, shape, or form the bloated government spending. It's not the coronavirus that's doing this. They needed to justify the spending. Coronavirus is just the vessel in which they are doing so. You know what? I think I need a little coffee this morning. A little too much conversation this morning. Not enough coffee. Good morning, John. I don't know if this is necessarily good work, but it is work. And yeah, if you'd like to join this broadcast, as always, this is an open discussion. There is a link in the description. But yeah, so what are we actually fighting for when we join the military? What are we actually saying? Well, I take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and defend it against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Most military members, myself included at time of serving, can't even comprehend what a domestic terrorist looks like. They train you to think, oh, it's gonna be a Middle Eastern man in a towel on his head and a blanket over his body with bombs strapped underneath. And it's like, no, that's not what a domestic terrorist is. A domestic terrorist is your local governor. A domestic terrorist is your local congressman. A domestic terrorist is your local senator. A domestic terrorist is your local mayor. A domestic terrorist is your local police chief. A domestic terrorist is your local insert political person here. A elected person here. I mean, I'm running for office, hoping that you don't look at me going, he's the domestic terrorist. But I'm not also spending trillions of dollars and justifying trillions of dollars of spending on hoaxes, frauds, scams, abuses, constantly perpetuated by the endless need to print more fiat currency. You know, I once heard somebody say, well, who cares if it's fiat? We all agree it's fake. It's built on nothing. It's imaginary. Well, then why are people hungry? Excuse me. Why are people starving? Why are people barely getting by? Why are people not able to pay their electric bills? Why are people not able to have the things that they need in this world and provide? If all our money is based on imaginary nothing. Well, it's based on the collective, CJ. Well, then why are people continuing to spend trillions of dollars? Oh, that's right. Because if they don't, we're gonna owe more money than we actually have to something called the Federal Reserve. So we don't live in United States of America. You are dumb to think that. Don't get me wrong. I see you waving your flags. I see you proud to be an American where you think you're still free. I see you out there. Proud of something. I don't know what. I mean, you would rather attack me for saying this uncomfortable truth than actually look at yourself and adjust your beliefs based according to fact, reality, and the world you live in. I'm just here as the vessel to point it out to you to say, welcome to the corporate plantations of Merica. The dollar will collapse. States will secede from the union, especially states that have a surplus. Which again, I heard that argument too. Well, South Dakota has a surplus. No, South Dakota had $1.26 billion from federal relief through the coronavirus spending. Now what? We wouldn't even had a surplus of $19 million. So let's take that and go give teachers a pay raise. Nope, can't do that. Let's take that and go feed the homeless. Nope, can't do that. Like, come on, man. Honestly. And I'm supposed to sit here and be proud to be an American. Oh. How do you have pride in this shit? Who honestly looks at their country and goes, yeah, I'm proud of this? Honestly. Oh, that's right. It's the people that watch that brainwashed propaganda from the government. They're proud of it. They're happy that they wave that red, white, and blue flag. Not even realizing the innocent blood on those colors. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind every single day. We sit here day in, day out. We can bitch about it on the internet all we want. Make no mistake about it. That's the only reason why I'm actually running for any office, is because I'm tired of bitching about it over the internet. I'd rather go bitch about it in the government building that created the fucking problem. I'll check the box, YouTube. Don't worry. And you know what's sad is right now, I can't keep the attention span of most slaves in America today. Because it's a fact. I just can't. There are more people watching some moron playing a video game from the 90s. Who's, okay, I shouldn't call him a moron. But definitely not adding anything of intellect to the national conversation. Definitely not having that open conversation about the crimes the government commits against the people. Not that I'm dissing him. I'm just saying that people would rather watch that and live in that comfortable lie than have to face the incredible truth that we are all slaves on a plantation. That's the truth. Unconstitutional orders are unconstitutional orders. Truth. Americans who negotiated the Constitution would be sad by what their government has become. You know what? I don't know, honestly. You know what? I question that and I go, at some point you have to think, like, maybe it was just designed this way. Maybe this is the inevitable conclusion of all governments. Some people want to talk for 10, 15 minutes about what the word defund means and police. What does it mean when you say defund police? How does that make you feel? I say abolish, so we're clear. So we're clear. And again, I welcome anybody into this conversation. There's a link in the description. You can take over the broadcast. Tell me where I'm right or where I'm wrong. I don't care. But the point still remains is that I am saying welcome to the corporate plantations of America. And it's based on just, again, they're using the cognitive dissonance of the brainwashed, sheepless, mindless duopoly voters who fall into that same duopoly think every 4 years. If you don't vote for this person, that person's going to win. Well, congratulations. You might be a slave. Oh, CJ, if I decided to justify your fucking government, you slave. I get really tired of it. And you know what the sad part is that I want to be in a free country. I want freedom in my lifetime. I want to know that my kids are going to grow up with a government that doesn't mass murder people. I talked with my friend Chris, did an episode last night, number 2 of Not That Late Night with Napper. He brought on one of his friends, Abby. You know, very smart for her own beliefs. She can preach that narrative, but she does it with her own little spin. I can respect the craft, but it only entrenched me further in my own beliefs. It showed me that, you know, it's a lot of hypocrisies. It's a lot of feelings, and I'm not a feelings guy. I really am not. I'm facts before feelings. My feelings will adjust to the facts. You know? It's crazy. Mr. Dingle says, I would argue that most of them knew how this was going to play out. Yeah, exactly. Now, to what the tombstone on the United States of America, the actual date of its ending, who knows? Who knows? We might have another 10 years left. We might have another 15 years left. But this country is coming to an end. Make no mistake about it. The United States government is the largest, single-handed, largest human trafficking industry, the largest abuser of civil and constitutional rights, liberties, interests, and pursuits of happiness. Make no mistake about it. This government is the most unconstitutional government we've had in the history of our country. And yes, I'm including your precious orange messiah, Donald J. Trump. He didn't change anything. This country's still fucked. I would argue it's more fucked today than it was 4 years ago. And again, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? You might be a plantation slave. Let's just get our slave bingo ready for 2020. Let's know how to identify them this time. Because I was one of them. I was plugged into the Matrix. I was believing my one vote will save the Republic. I tuned in at 11 o'clock Monday through Friday because I knew they had the documents and they were going to talk about it, but they too are just a fucking narrative. Defending the fucking slave plantation known as America. Owned by corporations. Corporations that know government is subservient. Subservient. Am I saying that right? To them. I wrote a song called Corporate States of America. I feel like it should have been Corporate Plantations of America. Maybe I'll write a sequel. But it makes me sick. You know, when I joined the Marine Corps, I believed I was fighting for your freedom. When I joined the Marine Corps, I believed I was fighting for something righteous and good. But what it was not what it was. Now, what I made it, what I believed it to be, my service, I was a combat engineer, route clearance platoon. You know, route clearance company. Well, mobility assault company, but still route clearance platoon. And, you know, my job wasn't to go shoot people. My job wasn't to go, directly over there and murder innocent people. My job was to, be a security, a turret gunner, a buffalo driver. Our overall collective goal was to find roadside bombs in the ground on the surface that might kill somebody between A and B. Better for us to take the hit than somebody behind us. And as a result, a few of us got fucked up. Brain noodles will never be the same again. What did it actually mean? I don't fucking know. I'm sure there's people out there be like, CJ, you were just a cog in the machine. And I'll be like, you're right. I fucking was. You thought you were serving and defending the Constitution. You weren't. I know. I found that out the hard way. Oh, you were just being a glorified world police pawn on the chessboard of the corporate plantations of Merica. Yes, I understand. I get it. But there are so many people that would rather live in that comfortable lie and think that they're actually fighting for something greater than themselves, when really you're just propping up corporate wars. You think, can we get the next war, whichever country the United States declares war on, can we just have it be sponsored by whichever company makes the most money? Like if the Iraq and Afghanistan wars would be so much different if it was Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom brought to you by Halliburton. You know what I mean? Afghan, enduring Operation Enduring Freedom brought to you by, to me, wouldn't that just be easier if we gave corporate sponsorship to the wars and have those corporate sponsors pay for the wars that they are inevitably profiting from? Wouldn't that be more efficient than saying, hey, you there, farmer in Nebraska, we want to make sure that you are going to pay your fair share into the war machine. And if you don't, we're going to take your land through civil asset forfeiture. And we'll use force, fraud, and abuse against you in order to perpetuate our foreign war that is, again, I remind people, still going on to this very fucking moment. Camp Leatherneck still out there in the in the Helmut province there in Afghanistan. We still over there in Iraq. We still doing this shit. How many years later? And now we have to, and again, keep in mind, we don't talk about that because what's going on in the streets of our plantations today. We don't talk about that because we're distracted over here. And that's because 99% of you are fucking retarded. And there ain't nothing I can do to stop that. You can say, well, I can't vote for you, CJ, because you say the word retard. Well, I can say you're retarded because you don't want your true freedom. You don't want people to actually stand up and say, these are the crimes your government has committed against you. We as libertarians are running as prosecutors against the current government. We are the ones naming the crimes the government commits against the people. And you go, it's like we're telling you you're being raped and you're like, no, I mean, kind of, but, not. However you want to justify it. Because what it is it's taking the wealth. It is not consensual at this point. It is not consensual to say that we should be taxed into oblivion, spend trillions of fucking dollars on endless foreign wars, invisible enemies we can't see, viruses that are just going to mutate when they need to spend the next $2.5 trillion spending package. When they need to shut you the fuck down. So again, you guys didn't realize, this is a big thing that everybody missed. There were hundreds of thousands of animals, perfectly viable, all across this country. When they first started these lockdowns, loaded onto semi-trucks and fucking drove to the fucking dump where they covered fields of dead fucking bodies. And now they're burying it with all your fucking trash. But you don't know that. Because the mainstream media, Donald fucking Trump, Joe Biden didn't come out and tell you, hey, it didn't matter if you lived in a red state or a blue state. We dramatically sliced the fucking population of the animals out here and hauled them off all the dumps. Perfectly viable cheeseburgers, steaks, all the things that I like to put in my belly. Now, again, admittedly, some of you don't, but what happens when the food supply runs out? What happens when we don't have? What happens when the only way to eat is to be violent? What happens? I don't know how long you can survive on chickens. But at the end of the day, the government is going to fuck you every which way till Sunday. And you get a choice this year. vote for your freedom or continue to vote for your slavery. That's it. And again, your slavery does not come with voting for one of the two fucking pedophiles that are running for the duopoly. It is not there. Well, CJ, you can't prove that Donald Trump's the pedophile. I was still making America great again. I'm gonna keep America great with my vote for Donald J. Trump. Well, actually, anybody that flies on the Lolita, is that how you say it? The Epstein plane. Any of those people, if they even flew once prior to Trump being on that list, or found to be on that list, it was crucify them at the stake. They are definitely raping kids and human trafficking. Donald Trump's on there, and man, the mental gymnastics comes out. It's documented. It's documented, and you'll ignore it. You will just ignore it because you don't know how to be anything other than the hypocrite plantation slave and defend your slave owner. You just would prefer there be a red slave owner. Now, CJ, well, Mama Joe's just going to be the same. Why would Mama Joe be okay with recreational nuclear warheads? Get her on the record. When you say the words, you should be able to own anything the government owns. They own nuclear warheads. I should be able to own a nuclear warhead. Now, some of you would be like, oh, fuck no, CJ. You should not be able to own one. You are one of the craziest sumbitches on the planet. Well, then you're infringing on my Second Amendment right. Straight up. So let's talk about it just being what it is. Let's talk about the fact that the government has perpetuated the greatest single-handed theft in the history of the human species. Oh. I don't know how long I can do this. I don't know how many more days we got left to the election. Maybe I'm going to go to votemercedes.com and find out. Mercedes, how are you doing today?
Oh, just living another day in Trump's America, Nebraska. You're part of the House,
you're part.
baby.
You're. That's right. You're a part of the 37th plantation of the corporate plantation known as Nebraska.
I can't even argue that.
I know you can't. That's why I'm saying it.
Like, we're all farmers, and this nice pandemic had. Oh man, so I'm one of those coronaphobic people.
No. You're coronaphobic because of other issues. If it would have been anything other than corona, you'd still be phobic about it.
Yeah, so it's not so much coronaphobia as in seeing that the government's using science denial to scare the masses into cooperating with their agenda since religion doesn't work anymore.
I mean, that's a fair argument. We could debate it.
I don't want to debate it.
I
just want to stop being a wage slave to the man.
It's not even the man at this point. I mean, it's an entity.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's genderless. It doesn't identify as a he, she. You could use they pronoun at best, and they are the Federal Reserve.
The feds need to stop not using lube before they want to come play with me or something.
Wait, did you say they need to stop?
Start.
I think you said start. Yeah, but they said you said stop.
Maybe I'll die faster.
Oh no! Oh no! She said it.
I did.
Oh, no.
Well, and that's just how I feel though. Like, okay, so people who don't live in rural agricultural areas didn't get to see the rest of the country freaking out, and then the farmers focusing on what's important, survival, food production, keeping the world fed, since that's what the world industry has done for our area. We had a global, not much of a global, field since Trump decided to play with tariffs, but we were globally producing olive, soybeans and wheat. Well, corn and soybeans are our main cash crop, and then corn or cows. So when the pandemic happened, and they're like, oh, we can't sell your food. And then us in Nebraska are like, there are 2 different supply chains. Why are we having a supply chain problem? Because we understand how supply chains work here. And then everybody's like, nope, you gotta cull the herd. Oh, that corn that you're growing? Yeah, it's not gonna be worth anything this year. Oh, your soybeans? Yeah, there's no market anymore.
And who caused this?
I'm gonna say not Obama, but partially Obama.
No, I'm gonna say government.
Oh, okay.
Government.
I was just labeling the government with a face.
Yeah, no. It's nice to put a face to the terrorist organization, but
So,
see,
like,
the face changes every 4 to 8 years. So
Orwellian.
yeah, and they make you think that, oh, this guy's gonna be different. This guy's gonna be different, but I don't see it. And like I said, I'm gonna create a slave bingo for 2020 where I want you to watch your favorite statist, and I want you to listen to all the regurgitated talking points that they say over the next 4 months or 3 months or whatever until the next inauguration, and just listen to the statist conversation. Well, if I don't vote for Trump, then the pedophile Joe Biden's gonna win with his slave plantation owner Kamala Harris. Like, I'm telling you, it's going to be that way, Mercedes.
It is already like that.
It is already like that.
They were, where was it? I got a message yesterday from somebody because she wanted to change her party affiliation to libertarian.
Ooh, she's like, I'm off the Trump train. I'm not voting for no kid sniffer.
She's already been off the Trump train and stuff. She's a Democrat, or was a Democrat, or an independent.
So wait, yeah, I was gonna say, so okay, so if she was a Democrat, she's pro pedophilia. Got it.
But she's anti-pedophilia, which is why she wants to change her party.
Right. Well, I mean, when your party puts up a pedophile, you go, if Mama Joe came out tomorrow and was like, so I like to sniff kids and the age of consent should be 12, I'd be like, yep, taking this fucking thing off.
Yeah, we're just going to trash that.
We're just going to burn this thing real quick.
So you mentioned RBG's argument with the age of consent being 12 or whatever.
Yeah, did you look it up and find the hoax sites about it?
No. I remembered she was Jewish, and in Jewish religion, 12 is when you become an adult. So from a I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying you have centuries of 12 being an adult.
I've got a 12-year-old.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying.
Well, actually, she'll be 12 by the end of the month.
Oh my god!
And I couldn't imagine being like, go find a husband.
Yeah, here's your bat mitzvah.
She still sleeps with her Violet from back when she was like this big.
Like, has a Violet.
Yeah. So no, there's no way this 12-year-old is an adult.
But that's what I mean is, I when we first talked about it, I'm like, God, I know that's not right. It's not fucking right. I'm not even gonna pretend it's right. But you gotta look at that. This is how it's been for the last however millennia, and that it's gonna take a while to make people realize that 12-year-olds are still kids. Because there's an entire culture that treats 12-year-olds as adults.
Oh God, that makes me just feel like we should open up the hunting season and just allow machine guns to be legal again, and then give qualified immunity to pedo hunters. Like, if there was one thing that we would justify qualified immunity for.
And that's back to religion, though, because apparently that's going to be the topic on the What the Fuck Wednesday.
Dude, What the Fuck Wednesday? I love it. All right, Mercedes, you're giving me all my great ideas here.
What the Fuck Wednesday? So yeah, but when we talked about it, then you just bring it back up. I'm like, wait, in the Jewish tradition, this is what it is. So now we're changing tradition, and then you think about all the religious everything's because we're like, as soon as women are old enough to reproduce, they should. Well, some women start at like 8. That's not right. Now we're in this woke society where we're like, this is not okay anymore. And then you got all these people going, no, it's our tradition to marry off children.
It should be our tradition to murder those people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I agree.
This is 2 days in a row I've discussed murder on this podcast.
So when's your FBI agent coming for pie?
I don't know that I got a few calls for my warranty yesterday, so I'm sure they're just making sure they're pinging me.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I turned off I have an iPhone and they give you the screen spam calls thing. So if it's spam, it won't come through.
Yeah.
It probably still rings, but I'm not getting it. So.
Yeah, lucky you.
They still know where I'm at. I don't know how lucky that is.
I get so busy, during the day, and I keep my phone on silent. Sometimes vibrate if I'm expecting something. I keep vibrate, for like when I'm expecting something.
That's a cheap thrill.
Yeah, that's what she said, I guess. Oh, damn it. I just walked right into my own. That's what she said. Shit. All right, so.
You're welcome.
What the fuck? Wednesday.
You're welcome.
Let's get over this hump. That's what she said.
Well, it's just so hard, CJ.
That's what she said.
So the state legislature's they're doing their roll call now, so I'm probably going to jump off and just
no. You know what, real quick, Mercedes, before you get to this boring ass I'm telling you, I know it's a tough thing to watch. I tried to stay with you on it.
You gotta be dedicated.
No, you got it. Like listen, it's almost like when in session comes for South Dakota and I start broadcasting it on here, you're gonna be like, no, I can't do this.
I'm doing it because I need to, because this is what I want to do for a job. Oh, they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
What would you do, Mercedes? You gonna stand up and pledge allegiance to the magic sky cloth?
I'm mad at the sky cloth right now because of the people who love it, so it's fine.
Again, you're gonna pledge allegiance to it.
Every day of second grade, our teacher made us stand up, recite the Pledge of Allegiance, sing the Star Spangled Banner, say one thing we're thankful for being an American, and then sit down.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to a flag that has never done anything for anyone other than murder innocent people, and I could go on for days.
Sorry, I see my opponent on TV, and he looks like he needs to go back to sleep.
Yeah, dude, I've tuned in on.
They start at 9 in the morning, and they all look like they stayed up until 5 a.m., and then they're chewing gum on the mic.
VoteMercedes.com.
Please.
Where you can get somebody that actually cares about your freedom and will fight for it. 82 days, 15 hours, 59 minutes, 30 seconds. Mercedes, it's always fun to have you on this broadcast.
Thanks for having me on so I could give you What the Fuck Wednesday while I go.
What the fuck Wednesday, Mercedes? Yeah, and like I said, I think that there's a lot that can be learned. This is your first time watching a session like this?
No, live streaming it, yeah.
Yeah, and breaking it down in live time.
Yep. I feel like people need the lifetime civics class that a unicameral can provide because. One, we have senators that are on the floor calling out other senators going, y'all are breaking the law. What are you doing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then when you do that, you just go taking notes now.
I have so many I started live streaming it because I was taking screenshots and notes. And the things I was seeing, I'm like, Facebook needs to see this. Because there's only like 1 or 2 places on Facebook where this is broadcast. Because nobody else is picking it up.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm going to go watch them
What the fuck?
We are a non-partisan unicameral government form because we don't believe political parties should be a thing in Nebraska. We're nonpartisan. And our GOP has decided that they want to be partisan and that they don't want to play like an American citizen.
How close are the Democrats to taking Nebraska, Mercedes?
It's purple, I'd say. Of our 5 electoral votes, we have 1 that's faded red. I saw on a map somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I can connect with rural Nebraska in the 3rd district, which is 98% of our state, then I think we could flip it. But we're Republicans. We've been Republicans. We're always going to be Republicans. This is the party in which we have, and that's what Nebraska is. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
And all I heard was we're slaves. We're always going to be slaves. We are proud of being slaves. Don't free us, Mercedes.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, and there's a Senator Wayne's because they're fine. There's a Senator Wayne, and I'm going to say he's about my age. He's 2 years into his first term, and he's out of Omaha. And he's like my spirit animal in the legislature right now, just because of him he's following all the rules. And
don't fall for the trap, Mercedes. There's always at least one out there with some piss and vinegar that might make you think, maybe we could bring him over to our side.
Oh, there's like 6 people in legislature right now like that.
Well, you know what I would suggest? When does this session end?
Tomorrow.
Oh, I was going to say you should get your ass down there.
No, it's tomorrow, and they started this session while I was under self-isolation from coming from Lincoln.
Yeah, but you should get down there and you should be like, "Hi, I'm Mercedes. Let me interview you."
I have an idea, and I'll talk to you about it later.
All right, Mercedes. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. You're the best.
Where was I with my slave plantation talk? We got back into it. I guess I got a few comments here. Okay, let's see here. Adam says they've declared war on us. What else was it? Why do we vote, especially on the people instead of ideas and actions? Yeah, we got that one. Unfortunately, people don't understand the privilege that the government gives these fictive creations called corporations. Capitalism and corporations are impeccable. Impeccable. Man, I can't read today, John. Are incompatible. Share owners and managers cannot be free of liability for their actions. To please slavers. Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter if Donald J. Trump is a pedo. He hasn't done more to stop it. He hasn't been more verbal against it. He has ignored the problem. Well, there'd be some that'd be like, well, he donated a couple million. Like, always fun to have Mercedes on the broadcast. Yeah, I agree here, Adam. Most people have not read the Constitution. It's pretty incredible. We have moved from being against the death penalty and on general principle that the state cannot be trusted to pedo hunting. It's saying they don't deserve it because they are monsters, and clearly something is happening with the elites. I just find that pedo hunting is a very interesting expression of anti-government angst. Yeah, no, and I'm not saying we task the government to do it. I'm saying we have people other than government. I'm against the death penalty when the state implements it for sure. Man, all right. I guess I could call this one early today and go take a little nap before Adam versus the man. Like I said, there really wasn't anything on the headlines for the day, but I guess I could if I was really wanting to show you how boring of a fucking news day it is today. Kamala Harris' Indian relatives helped shape her views on civil rights and civic duty. Like, bitch has locked up more black people than most other. Like, there are slave owners to be like, great job, Kamala. And of course, that's the big story of the day. I don't know. Elon Omar wins. Who gives a shit? Putin's plan for coronavirus vaccine is at high risk of backfiring, obviously. Here's why that $400 unemployment check from Trump's executive order may not happen. Oh, let's just fuck you over and then throw it out there and then take it back. Payroll tax delay may mean problems for workers. Oh, who would have thought a government tax creates a problem for people? It's just, like I said, man, there is nothing really that catches my eye here. I guess I can give it an extra minute or two in case anybody else wants to join. Actually, you know what I can do? I got a little letter here in the mail. Family Heritage Alliance out of Rapid City. It's got a legislative questionnaire. Might as well just open it up and see what's going on with this. Hopefully they don't send it with anthrax, you know. It does come with something to send back. Dear South Dakota legislative candidate, congratulations on your run for South Dakota legislature. We at Family Heritage appreciate Each person seeking to serve our great state as an elected official. I think all these come from a central place, to be honest. They kind of word themselves the same. All right, here's the questionnaire. We'll just get to that so we can skip the formalities and the regaling. All right, please note that any unanswered questions will be identified with a dash clarifying the question was or were unanswered by the candidate. All right, so number one. Do you support or oppose elected officials relying on religious beliefs and values to guide their decisions in South Dakota? I oppose. I mean, okay, it's kind of gray. If your religion says don't hurt anybody, don't murder, and don't take their stuff, which clearly their religions don't, then I would. If their religion is based on principle of the non-aggression principle, then yeah, I would say that. But most people's religion isn't based on the non-aggression principle. Clearly, do you support or oppose efforts to reduce the number of abortions in South Dakota? I mean, I support. Again, as a libertarian, we just believe the government should be out of the question. I don't support abortion in its context, other than life of the mother or some extenuating circumstance. I don't support recreational abortions. But yeah, of course, I would support reducing the number of abortions. Do you support or oppose the South Dakota lottery, spending money on advertising the lottery? Yeah, I definitely think that that's just a poor person's tax. Do you support or oppose a reduction in post-incarceration restrictions with regard to employment? Do you support or oppose reduction in post-incarceration restrictions? I oppose post-incarceration restrictions in regards to employment. I mean, unless you're like a registered sex offender and you should be working with kids, other than the obvious. If you're a murderer, you shouldn't be. I mean, again, I think personally, once you serve your time, your rights, all of them, should be restored. Unless you created some, victim in a child, or you have a history. At some point, you can't just. But again, this is why, like I said, I would oppose reduction. I would support reductions in post incarceration restrictions. So yeah, they word this kind of funny here. That's how they got to get you. It's like a test. I support reductions in post incarceration restrictions minus for registered sex offenders. I don't want to see diddly Joe Biden going and working at a school. Do you support or oppose provisions that would allow a medical professional to assist in another person in committing suicide? I support your right to have end-of-life care, including assistance in ending your life. Do you support or oppose requirements that personal and creative service businesses produce goods and services that may violate their consensus? Do you support or oppose requirements that personal and creative service business produce goods and services that may violate? No, this is the bake the cake question. I don't think that you can go tell a Christian baker to go bake your gay dick cake for your gay wedding. I think they have a right to refuse service to anybody. Doesn't mean I support that business or would participate in commerce with that business. However, I'm not going to use force of government to make a business do something in that aspect. I can't justify it. Do you support or oppose expansion of low-income medical assistance, Medicaid, in South Dakota? Yeah, it's just keeping us on the slave plantation. They want to justify you being a slave on their plantation, and this is how they do it. Do you support or oppose legislation to increase parents' choice in education? Yeah, of course. A lot of us are homeschooling this year because fuck the government schooling system. They're turning it into a mini day camp for mini day prison camp for kids. Do you support or oppose limitations on the use of cross-sex hormones and/or genital surgery for minor children who identify as contrary to their biological sex? I do not believe that children should be subjected to this. Personally speaking, when you become an adult, I don't care what you do with your Ghibli bits or what you put in your body. As a child, I think that there is a lot going on there that isn't being discussed properly in the public setting. So yeah, no, I oppose limitations. I would actually add restrictions in sticking kids with hormones in their bodies, and I would say that that's a decision made for adults, left for adults, I should say. Like I said, once you turn into an adult, you get emancipated. Don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want with you. But yeah, no, I disagree fundamentally, and I know where this leads. Last question: do you support or oppose protections for speech and expression? Obviously, if the speech or expression may be considered by some to be highly offensive. Oh my God! The fact that this question is at the end and even exists is a insult to the First Amendment to begin with. Of course, I support your First Amendment right, even if I am highly offended. Even if I'm the one sitting there going, fuck, that's offensive. I still want you to be able to say whatever you want to say. I'm one of those people that says you can yell fire in a crowded room because you can. Should you? No. But, can you? Your vocal cords are right around here, right? Breathe in air. You exhale and you use your mouth and your vocal cords and your tongue and all our muscles to express a sound. I don't believe the government should be able to restrict any sounds that you may make. Just me, I guess. But welcome to the corporate plantations of America, where at least you know you're a slave. Maybe I should write that one. I don't know. Like I said, it's a slow fucking news day. Yesterday, I had all the news in the world, and it ended up being spent on a conversation about how I'd kill somebody if they harm my child. I think that sentiment is best observed by many of parents across the planet, and so I don't feel like my speech in that aspect, however offensive it may be to her child molester and her kidnappers, I don't give a fuck if you think it's highly offensive. So of course I support the freest of free speeches, including the ability to tell somebody that violates your rights that you better watch out, you better not hide, you better not pout, I'm telling you what. All right, you know what's bad when I'm starting to sing Christmas tunes to murdering people who violate constitutional rights and harm children, especially your own. So have a good day or don't. The choice, and yes, choice is always yours.